Loud.
Hello, beloveds.
Welcome.
It is Soulfield Sunday, and we're so blessed to have you here with us live and also with us in the eternal now via recording. It was such an honor to come together in this way.
Yes. So let's open the field by calling the Temple of Divine Perfection to open its doors to release whatever you no longer want to hold or to transmute whatever needs to be transmuted or recycled. And let's light our candles to signal the beginning of our time here together. And we're going to share our opening prayer. Yes.
Yes, great. We start in Spanish today.
Oh, yay. We'll start in Spanish today.
And so we come with grateful, reverent, and open hearts to drink from the deep well of our eternal nature. We know as we dive into the soul field together, we are held within a sacred and holy embrace by the source of all love, light, and grace. We allow our minds to expand into the holy realms where magic and miracles are commonplace. As we minister to ourselves, we minister to one another and our family humanity. We recognize we are one in the holy wholeness. We allow all we do here today to ripple out through our lives as a living witness of divine grace for the benefit of all our relations.
Venimos con corazones llenos de gratitud, reverentes y abiertos a saciar nuestra sed en el profundo pozo de nuestro ser eterno. Estamos conscientes de que al sumergirnos en el campo del alma, somos acogidos en los santos brazos de la fuente sagrada de toda luz, amor y gracia divina. Nos damos permiso de expandir nuestras mentes hacia el reino sagrado donde la magia y los milagros ocurren constantemente. De la misma manera que nos predicamos a nosotros mismos, así predicamos al prójimo y a nuestra familia humana, reconociendo que somos uno en la totalidad sagrada. Permitamos que todo lo que se haga aquí hoy tenga una secuela en nuestras vidas como testimonio vivo de la gracia divina para el beneficio de todos.
I don't know about you all, but if you're not Spanish speaking, as I am not, I have the experience of how much I can feel the prayer, even though I don't. I mean, I kind of know because we know the prayer, but I mean, there's really this experience for me of feeling so deeply. And I think this is the power of prayer, is that it's words, but it's not the words. It's the feeling that it evokes in us. It's the remembrance that it evokes in us that is what sends out the waves and receives the waves of grace.
Yeah, it's like chanting in Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
So take a moment to tap in what's here for you today. What are you bringing? And maybe put it in the chat if you have a moment, but just connect to that. What needs to be seen, experienced? What are you bringing?
We'll move into our tapping for this series. We're working with Refuge as the pathway to ministration. And so as usual, as we do our affirmations, we invite you to either tap on the thymus, which is sort of right on the breastbone in the center of the chest, or rub around the earlobes all along the edges. So this thymus is a master gland, and we tap here. It sort of like communicates through our whole body. And the ears have acupuncture points that correspond to every meridian that's on the body. And so we're basically embodying, we're getting these affirmations into the body as we begin.
So I'll say the sentence, you repeat out loud, as you're tapping or rubbing your ears. And we're going to do the whole affirmation 3 times. All right. I take refuge in the divine and lay my perceived burdens down.
I take refuge in the divine and lay my perceived burdens down.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
So now we're gonna either stay with the thymus or you can rub the ears, whatever feels comfortable. I take refuge in the divine and lay my perceived burdens down.
I take refuge in the divine and lay my perceived burdens down.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
I take refuge in the divine
I take refuge in the divine
and lay my perceived burdens down.
and lay my perceived burdens down.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
I walk step by step in the divine embrace.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
Every day I open and receive even more grace and sacred soothing.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
All holiness comes to me as me and emanates through me for the benefit of all life.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yes.
So as we work today, we introduced last week, for those of you who've been here, we introduced you to the 5 R's that are part of our taking refuge in the divine. And do you want to put that up for just a minute? Nancy's got the documents for us today. So our 5 R's of refuge into ministry recognize, that's what we worked with last week. Then relax, that's what we're going to work with today. Release, receive, radiate. And so today is about resting in the divine, relaxing and resting into the divine.
Yeah, and I was just as we were tapping, it was coming to me that this affirmations come way before we even know what's going to be developed, and every single time is just aligned so perfectly. Like even the part of I release my perceived burdens down, and it's so hard to release that. It's so hard to let go of the burdens and let go of the to-dos and the mind and it's so hard to do that.
It's hard because we live in a culture of hustle, like go, 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 rush, 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 more choices, more things to do, more places of connection. Now you've got a phone you carry with you, and you have to check your email, you have to check your text messages, you have to check your socials, it's just, there's layers and layers of how we've become sort of a busy culture. And and so this idea of resting into the divine requires a kind of relaxation and a letting go. But we kind of have this paradigm that relaxing and being at ease is like lazy, or you're like lackadaisical, or you don't really care, or
You have
like,
so much to do.
yeah.
You know, things are not going to get done. I better finish it, or they're going to pile up if I don't do it all. Oh my gosh, never ending.
Yeah. And in a certain way, what Nancy and I have noticed is that in order to relax, in order to justify that letting go, that rest, we now have a culture where now you're doing self-care. So it's a to-do. Like you have to do a thing to have to have the thing.
If
And
not, you can't relax.
exactly.
It has to be
I'm
justified.
having a self-care day, like
Yeah, like it's not like I'm not doing anything today and that's okay.
exactly.
The guilt, right, that we feel.
Mhm. Yeah, and the experience when we're in that of like not actually having full permission to rest, and rest is where we rejuvenate. It's where we recalibrate. And culturally, we have this sort of epidemic of people needing all kinds of sleep aids, whether they're using allopathic or naturopathic medicine. And we've got things you wear at night to see if you're sleeping right, and what do you need to do to get your sleep better. And it's partly because we don't know how to let go. We don't know how to release ourselves into the divine embrace. And as Nancy was saying, because of the go-go culture, we have very busy minds. And we've learned to over rely on the mind, which is sort of like a hamster in a wheel and just goes around. And so this is really about, when we're talking about relaxing, yes, it's about having a seat on a chair and, or lying down on the bed, but it's really about a state of being where you're letting go into the divine moment to moment, no matter what you're doing,
Yeah.
where you're noticing where there's holding and tension that you don't need to be holding. Right?
It's so sneaky because if we're not paying attention, if all of a sudden we're gonna catch ourselves clenching our jaws, like somebody mentioned earlier, or just our muscles super tense, or doing things in a rush. Yesterday, when we had the solstice celebration, the ritual, we had some strawberries, and I noticed myself eating the strawberries, and I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on, slow down, enjoy the strawberries. And in that moment, there was a sense of peace, a sense of connection to the divine. But we think, okay, I am going to do this app that is going to tell me what to do, and these are the steps, and da da da. And we can actually relax into the divine in every single moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like guidebook days where I'm like, okay, no social media, no phones, no computer, no nothing, no TV, nothing, because my mind needs to rest for a moment. But it doesn't have to be that you require a full day or weekend. It can be in every moment, every day, every second, you know?
Yeah, there's an experience that we're looking to, which is about getting off of the desperation. And what I want to speak to about that is when we're relying only on our mind and our culture to guide us, we're not actually plugged into the source of power that is our true home, and that is where we actually have the capacity to co-create with the divine. So we end up, that hamster wheel energy, that go-go energy, is the energy of desperation, like desperately trying to accomplish a thing that isn't actually really getting at what we really are wanting, what we're really needing, what we're really desiring. So we have this like desperation that moves into action culturally that isn't actually fulfilling us. It doesn't mean we don't take outward action, but it means that if we're looking to that for our fulfillment, we're not going to find refuge there. Like the to-do list and getting it accomplished is not going to create the sense of refuge that we actually are really desiring, and that allows us to receive the grace and then be an emanation and a reminder to others. And so this rest piece is essential because it gets us out of that mode that is so entrained from the time we're young.
Yeah. I know a lot of my clients are in the hustle mentality that, well, the only day off I have to, fix this thing and I have to do this stuff, da, 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 and to ask them, hey, take a day for you to do nothing. It's like, no, everything that I have to do, and then I'm gonna miss out, and and then this is gonna pile up, and da, da, da. There are so many reasons why we shouldn't take time off. And then we create that hamster wheel for ourselves, you know?
Yeah. And Nancy's talking about like a day off, but what we're even just talking about also, it's like, yes, we need these bigger places of rest for sure. But it's also just like in a given moment, could we rest into our sacred connection and just let it be there with us and let it move through us as we're doing the thing we're doing, whatever it is, right? So this is the act of giving yourself rest, but it's also the experience of having a rest point that lives with you, that actually moves with you through life, no matter what the doing or not doing is. Right. And when that rest point is there and it's with you, then like you lay down in bed at night and you can go to sleep and really go in. When the rest point's not with you, because you lay down to rest, or you try to take the day off and you're like, well, what should I do?
Yeah.
What should you go sit somewhere in nature and you're like, okay, because the rest isn't carried with you. And so it's a cultivation both of taking time, which we're going to do today in the meditation, to really sink in and remember, and then to consciously have things that bring you back into sacred rest throughout your day. A little sticky on your mirror, a breath. Nancy has these beautiful little, can I pull this off? Nancy has these beautiful little, they're sort of what are they called? They're like they stick it cling. Yeah, they're clingy things, and they have words on them. Like this one is prosperity. And so you could write relax on your water bottle, for example, and just like stick it on there. But whatever it is to remind you that there is a sacred and holy embrace that you can rest into no matter what.
Mm-hmm. And that could be taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
And slow down half a millisecond. Like when I was eating the strawberry, I was eating them fast, and then just slowing down just a tiny bit was like enough for me to settle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even slowing down your speech a little bit.
Mm.
Like just slightly, not that somebody's going to go, why is she talking? But just enough that it reminds you like, okay, I don't have to rush. Even if you're in a hurry, right? There can still be the place in you that's resting. For example, in the knowingness that it's happening in divine right timing.
Mm-hmm.
There's divine perfection unfolding.
Yeah.
Right. And these kind of statements can help us rest.
Yeah. And something that is important for us to remember is that if we're not in that relaxed state, unfortunately, we can't receive, because it's sort of like you lost your gold ring in this pond and you start stirring the pond, and so all the mud comes to the surface and you can't see it. But if you can let that pond be still, then the gold will shine and you'll be able to see it so clearly. So it's that energy with us. If we can rest for a moment, slow down, then we can see the opportunities. But when we're in high levels of stress, our mind just says, I need to figure out what I'm running away from. What is the threat that I have here? And that's the only thing I can focus on. But when we're relaxed, we open. Our eyes open, our energy opens, and we see all sorts of
Our
energy.
heart opens, right? It's in the relaxing and the resting into the divine that receptivity occurs. And for those of you who were with us for the solstice ritual live yesterday, we were talking a lot about receptivity as a core co-creative power, especially for women, right? And so for the female bodied people that are here with us, this is particularly essential. It's essential for all of us for different reasons, right? But it's particularly essential. So we're going to shift, right? Yeah, we're going to shift into meditation. And today we want you to really drop in. So if you have the ability to lay down and that's an easy thing to do, great. If you feel like you can really drop in sitting up, that's fine too. There's no need to lie down. We're just inviting you, like, today we're working with relax. So we're going. And if you happen to lie down and fall asleep, do not worry about that. Like, let that happen because the body is so wise and we are needing to go deep into rest. And so today we're going to lead you in a meditation that is a deep relaxation. We're going to go to our crystalline pond. Should we put the little the little image up just to remind everybody of the energetic? We have this image that we made for you just to kind of get a flavor, but each of you has your own sacred, beautiful crystalline pond. And we're going to journey there today. And this whole series, every time we come together, we're going to journey to that sacred space that lives in the etheric realms for us to be nourished there.
So take a moment to get settled, to be comfortable, to be present with your breath, and use the Temple of Divine Perfection to release anything that you are carrying or that needs holding for now. Just for now, release everything there. And imagine the whole earth holding you in such a beautiful divine embrace that you can really deeply let go and feel grounded and protected.
You can feel the gravitational pull of the earth, and you begin to relate to it as an embrace, really remembering she's actually pulling you to her body. She's holding you. You're wanted here. And with the ease of a breath and the simplicity of your intention, you sink into that embrace even more. Bringing awareness to the area of the jaw, lips, teeth, gums, tongue. Letting there be some breath that moves into that space and a letting go of the tension, letting the jaw rest slightly open. And as you soften the jaw and you allow that relaxation, feel that you can drop into the heart more fully. Breathe into your heart. And invite the heart to slow down just a little bit. Really communicating to the heart, this is time for us to deeply relax. to deeply rest. And you let your heart be held by that embrace of the earth, feeling the heart grounding and connecting with our beloved Gaia. And in your mind's eye, begin to journey to the space that the divine has prepared for you, to the crystalline water pond, the cosmic amniotic fluid of creation is waiting for you. And when you arrive, find a perfect place to rest and recline by the water. And begin for a moment to really take in the surroundings. Noticing the sounds and the colors, the shapes, the sensations, the quality of air there. And feel yourself surrender into that sacred space even more. Allowing yourself to be held. And bringing breath and awareness and presence again to the jaw and all the way to the back of the head, like around at that level of the jaw. Noticing that there is some tension there. Maybe even opening the jaw a little bit, stretching the face, moving the head, just gentle to just help that tension let go. That's it. As you do, you might feel that there's sensation that can move in this area, little tingles. When you begin to breathe and feel the front of the throat and the collarbone area. And that level of the body all the way around the upper parts of the shoulders. And you notice bring breath and awareness, and you let this part of the body release. As this part of the body releases, you can feel that grace, that kind of connection. These parts of the body we've released are able to connect even more to the divine embrace. There's a relaxation into that connection. And as you continue to breathe, you can feel that the middle of the chest at the level of the breasts, front and back, and under the armpits. There's some density there, some heaviness there. And with the ease of breath and the simplicity of your intention, you let that heaviness fall into the earth where you are by this sacred cosmic pond. The ground there can just take it, and it's like a layer of you just comes off, falls away. You can feel this part of the body opening, relaxing, resting. And there's a tendency to let the jaw get tight again. So bringing awareness again to the jaw, to the mouth. Let the mouth rest open. This is a time of safety, a time of rest, allowing. And as you do that, you can feel even more goodness flowing into the heart space, underneath the armpits, into the back of the chest, upper back. You bring awareness to the area around your temples. There's almost like a band around your temples that goes all the way around the head. And it's kind of tight. It's like a too tight hat is on. And with the simplicity of your intention, and maybe even the gentle, subtle moving of the head, you let that band of tension fall away. And you can feel it's a little stickier than some of the others, this band of tension. Give yourself a big sigh. That's it. And let that tension melt like candle wax that's getting hot, that starts to get softer and softer until it liquefies. And you let the thinking mind and this tension become softer and softer until it liquefies. And when that happens, you feel more access to the heart. And you might spontaneously feel yourself dropping down into the belly and even into the low belly. Deeper relaxation into the tailbone and the sacrum. Letting the tension of the pelvic floor fall into the earth. Breathing in the beauty of your cosmic crystalline pond space. Feeling that the body can surrender to the magical energy here even more. You bring awareness to the tailbone and to the tension there. It may even feel a little painful as you tune in there. And again, you remember to let the jaw be slightly open and soft as you bring your presence to the tailbone. And you let the breath come and invite the tailbone to loosen, to soften. As the tailbone softens, you'll feel whatever that little bit of pain was beginning to release. And you may even move the pelvis just slightly, just to help the tailbone open, like you're growing a tail. Bringing breath there, opening there, and feeling the tailbone plugging in to your crystalline sacred space in the cosmos. And you can feel it, that plug-in is like electric in a certain way. And there you are. Your legs are softening and relaxing. Your arms are opening. And you completely rest. There's these beautiful fairies that come and they dip these little teeny tiny cups of water and they begin to pour it on you, but it's like little water drops. It's like raindrops. Their cups are so tiny. And this cosmic rain that's coming from this amniotic fluid of creation activates your body And the fairies know exactly where to go. They go right to the places that need a little extra support, a little extra releasing and rest. And one of the fairies comes and starts to gently stroke your hair. It's like so tiny little sensations. And it cues your nervous system to let go and relax even more. And one of the fairies comes and she starts to breathe warmth on the soles of your feet. And there's this warm energy that starts to come at the soles of the feet. Feels like warm honey, magical fairy breath. And you feel that you can just let go even more, rest even more. And as you rest here and as your fairies minister to you, we'll play our song for this series.
This is the sound of one heart starting to hear. This is the sound of faith stepping out of fear. Oh, the journey of one soul's passage through time. And oh, this is one lone dreamer learning to fly.
Bring yourself back, but keep that rest point with you. So that deep internal rest space that you're touching, if you feel that it's time to open your eyes and come back, keep it with you. If it's not time, that's okay. You can stay right where you are. We're going to take a little moment, and there's not a rush, but we're going to turn off the recording. If anyone would like to speak to what they're noticing.
That if you're still in that space of relaxation and you want to stay there, please let your body receive the relaxation that it needs. And just reminders that our website is soulfeel.org, and you'll find there all of the links to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and our tithing, and any events that we have coming up as well.
And if you're not already on our phone chat, we have a little chat that we sort of mostly just kind of put the link and make it easy for you to hop on to the events, the meditations, and the soul field events like this, experiences like this. And so if you're not and you want to be on that, just text Nancy or myself and just say, hey, can you add me to that?
Yes. Yeah, our next meditation is on Wednesday, July 2nd at 5:10. And then our next Soul Feel is going to be Soul Feel Experiences on the 13th, July 13th. So don't miss it.
Have a beautiful rest of your Sunday, and we're gonna end with our closing prayer. It's so lovely to see some of you just out,
Yes.
yeah, so
Relaxed.
We are deeply grateful to have experienced miraculous communion with our holy wholeness in the soul field. We wholeheartedly receive the upliftment of one another's communion and blessed soul light. As we close this formal gathering, we each in our own way will continue dwelling in the soul field and supporting our collective evolution. With deep gratitude, we thank one another and all our angels, guides, and guardians. Remembering as we minister to ourselves, we uplift one another. We encourage the magic we co-created to ripple out to all our relations for the benefit of all beings.
Estamos profundamente agradecidos de haber vivenciado esta comunión de nuestros seres sagrados en el campo del alma. De todo corazón recibimos la elevación del sacramento de cada uno de nosotros y de nuestra bendecida luz del alma. Al culminar esta congregación, cada uno de nosotros de manera propia continuaremos conviviendo en el campo del alma y apoyando nuestra evolución colectiva. Con profunda gratitud, agradecemos el uno al otro y a nuestros ancestros, ángeles, guías y guardianes de luz, recordando que cuando nos amamos a nosotros mismos, amamos y elevamos al prójimo, alentando la magia que acabamos de co-crear para que se expanda a todos, a todas nuestras comunidades, de manera de que todos los seres se beneficien. Thank you for joining us. We are going to blow out our candles, but knowing that the Temple of Divine Perfection exists there and will continue to be there, even if you don't tap it into the moment or don't call it, it's still there. So let's blow out our candles and close our circle today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Some of you are starting to come back now. Welcome back.
Mhm.
You want to pause?